Hello kids. Today I am reading with you my favorite magazine, the National Geographic. I have here the April 2018 issue, which was a special issue about the big topic of race. 今天我要带你们读的呢是国家地理杂志在2018年出的一本有关于各种种族议题的专刊。这是3年以前的一个期刊了可能是有感于在特朗普的任内美国的种族的问题越来越严重了，所以就决定要深度讨论一下这个话题。我要先读的呢是在这个种族的问题上这一本杂志国家地理杂志对本身的自我反省，这个还蛮特别的。他会说呢，即使是国家地理杂志自己在过去每次碰到的这个种族的问题呢都好像都躲避掉了，没有特别去点出来说有这个问题，所以呢他在自我反省。What I'm reading today is the message from the editor. It's going to be a self-examination or reflection about how National Geographic over the past century didn't exactly cover stories of race and racism fairly and more boldly. Well, that's how America was back in the early 1900s. Racism was open and accepted. But it's good to see even National Geographic can reflect and critique itself, right? 这篇文章实质上不会太困难，以国家地理的水平来说。I will stop to translate and explain along the way. So it's going to be kind of long. I will likely divide the article into 2 videos. Okay, here we go. To rise above the racism of the past, we must acknowledge it. 如果我们要克服 rise above 过去的种族歧视的话呢，我们先要承认有这回事儿，我们先要面对它。It is November 2nd, 1930, and National Geographic has sent a reporter and a photographer to cover a magnificent occasion, the crowning of Haile Selassie, King of Kings of Ethiopia, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. There are trumpets, incense, priests, spear-wielding warriors. The story runs 14,000 words with 83 images. 1930年呢11月呢，国家地理杂志 cover 了一个很棒的一个故事，一个场合 The crowning of Haile Selassie 加冕 Ethiopia 那个时候可能还是个王国吧，他就成为了国王了 King of Kings 众多国王里面的选出来的一个国王，而且我在猜，因为这个都是大写，这个 Haile 呢 Selassie 还有一个外号 Conquering Lion of the Tribe of Judah， 所以他是从这个部落来的，犹大的部落 Conquering Lion， 他是一个很厉害的一个狮子吧，而且很热闹哦，有小喇叭，有烧香，就像我们现在烧的香，而且还有很多 priests， 而且还有很多拿着矛跳舞的战士，很长的一个故事，14000个字。If a ceremony in 1930 honoring a black man had taken place in America instead of Ethiopia, you can pretty much guarantee there wouldn't have been a story at all. Even worse, if Haile Selassie had lived in the US, he would certainly have been denied entry to our lectures in segregated Washington, D.C. And he might not have been allowed to be a National Geographic member, according to Robert M. Poole, who wrote Explorer's House, National Geographic, and the World It Made. African Americans were excluded from membership, at least in Washington, through the 1940s. 如果一个庆祝一个黑人加冕的一个场合发生在美国的话呢，它根本就不可能发生。 更糟糕的是，如果他住在美国的话呢，他根本就不可能进入 the lectures of the National Geographic。 为什么？因为那个时候 Washington DC 是 segregated， 是种族隔离的哈，白人跟黑人不能混在一起，而且他也不能成为一个 member， 不能成为这个国家地理这个叫做一个 National Geographic Society， 就是这个组织的一个会员。因为在那个时候呢 African American 是不能成为会员的。I am the 10th member. I'm the 10th editor of National Geographic since its founding in 1888. I am the first woman and the first Jewish person, a member of two groups that also once faced discrimination here. It hurts to share the appalling stories from the magazine's past. But when we decided to devote our April magazine to the topic of race, we thought we should examine our own history before turning our repertorial gaze to others. 这个 chief editor 呢，他说呢，这个人叫做什么 Goldberg 我忘了 ，Susan Goldberg chief editor。他说呢，他是第10位这个总编辑，而且呢，她是第一个女性，而且是第一个犹太人。这2个 group 呢，在以前都是被歧视的。那么他们就决定，如果要 cover 一个 issue，devote 要花一整个 issue 讨论种族的话呢，他们一定要先检讨自己一下。Race is not a biological construct, as writer Elizabeth Kolberg explains in this issue, but a social one that can have devastating effects. So many of the horrors of the past few centuries can be traced to the idea that one race is inferior to another, she writes. Racial distinctions continue to shape our politics, our neighborhoods, and our sense of self. 这篇文章里面，这一本里面有一篇文章是这个 Colbert 写的哈。他说，种族根本就不是一个生理上的问题，它是一个社会问题。那么很多问题都是 can be traced， 都可以被追踪到一个最根本的一个 idea， 就是一个种族是不如另外一个族群的，一个族群本质上是不如另外一个族群的 inferior。那它的相反就是 superior， 对不对 ？superior。Racial distinctions， 利用种族来做分别，到今天都还在 shape 我们的 politics， 我们的居住的地方，还有我们怎么样看待自己 ，our sense of self. How we present race matters. I hear from readers that National Geographic provided the first look at the world. It certainly was in my case. Our explorers, scientists, photographers, and writers have taken people to places they had never even imagined. It's a tradition that still drives our coverage, and of which we are rightly proud. And it means we have a duty in every story to present accurate and authentic depictions, a duty heightened when we cover fraught issues such as race. 很多人就说，哎呀，国家地理杂志是他们眼睛睁大了，看到世界的第一个途径。对我来讲，的确是这个样子。我从小就在看我爸爸订的国家地理，所以呢，他们有一个 duty， 有一个责任，要来很正确的，authentic. We have a duty in every story to present accurate and authentic depictions. Depict 就是去把它陈述，所以我们要正确的，还有很真实的来陈述我们所看到的事情，特别是在讨论像种族这个很敏感的话题。We asked John Edwin Mason to help with this examination. Mason is well positioned for the task. He is a University of Virginia professor specializing in the history of photography and the history of Africa, a frequent crossroads of our storytelling. he dived into our archives。所以为了要检讨自己呢，他们就请了这个大学教授，他又是摄影的，是他的专长，而且他还是非洲历史的一个这个教授。那么这两个话题呢 ，photography 跟 Africa 就是一个 frequent crossroads of our storytelling。他指的就是这本杂志最关注的话题就是这两个。Now he dived into 他们的 archives， 所以他二话不说，他就钻进去干他的事儿了。What Mason found, in short, was that until the 1970s, National Geographic all but ignored people of color who lived in the United States, rarely acknowledging them beyond laborers or domestic workers. 他就发现了，一直到1970年代，国家地理根本就 ignored， 就忽略了这群人 ，people of color。rarely acknowledging them， 就根本就不会去讨论或者提到他们，除非他们是什么呢？工人，或者是在家里帮佣的。Meanwhile, it pictured natives elsewhere as exotics, famously and frequently unclothed, happy hunters, noble savages, every type of cliché。他就是发现了，对美国自己的黑人，他根本提都不提。可是对别人的所谓的原住民 natives， 就变成说，很特别啦，很有特色啦，很多时候都不穿衣服啦，他们是很快乐的猎人啦，而且是很高贵的野蛮人，各式各样的 stereotypes， 就是这种固定的印象。Unlike magazines such as Life, Mason said, National Geographic did little to push its readers beyond the stereotypes ingrained in white American culture. 不像 Life 杂志，那是你们对美国如果熟的话呢，美国更有名的杂志就是 Time Life。Time 就是时代，我也很喜欢读时代杂志，对不对 ？Life 就是以照片为主，就是报道这个生活啊、习惯啊的一个杂志。他说呢，跟 Life 不一样，国家地理杂志很少碰触这个话题。Americans got ideas about the world from Tarzan movies and crude racist caricatures。他说呢，美国人得到这种这个世界的印象是什么呢？从泰山的电影，还有很糟糕的卡通的如何去呈现世界的情况 caricature。就是美国人是怎么样去了解世界的。He said, segregation was the way it was. 种族分离呢，在那个时候就是美国的状況。National Geographic wasn't teaching as much as reinforcing messages that already received and doing so in a magazine that had tremendous authority. 国家地理杂志呢，没有真正在教导，它反而是在 reinforce 加强社会对于种族问题的固有印象，但是因为他们就是反而身为一个有很有力量的一个媒体 ，a magazine with tremendous authority， 他居然唯一在做的呢，就是加强既有的印象。National Geographic comes into existence at the height of colonialism, and the world was divided into the colonizers and the colonized.There was a color line, and National Geographic was reflecting that view of the world. 1888年，国家地理杂志成立的时候呢，就是在那个时候，就是殖民主义最盛行的时候，世界是被分成你去殖民别人，或者你是被人家殖民，所以国家地理杂志就呈现了那个时候的世界的景观。OK， 我们分成两段，这个是第一个部分。